Hey YouTube, what's going on? Hey, glad to have you back. This is There Has to Be Something More, and I'm your humble host, Scott Moore. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Today is Wednesday, August 14th. It's another beautiful day here in Xela, Guatemala, aka Quetzaltenango. You can kind of get a glimpse of the church, which is behind me, which is where Parque Central, the Central Park, is. I am up on our roof, which is where one of our hangouts. It's a nice little place. We've got tables and chairs up here. We've got it all lit up at night. So nice little place, and the dogs like to come up here and run around for a while. So I'm up here with Roscoe and Matilda. Let's see if I can give you a peek. The sun is really strong. Sammy's down sleeping. It's kind of got me worried a little bit because the boy's sleeping a lot these days, but that's what happens when you get to be a 17-year-old. Anyway, today I was spurred on by doing another cost of living because today I actually got my very first Social Security check. And for most Americans, they would say, oh, big deal, Social Security check, not very much. But when you start to take a look at how much the cost of living is in a lot of places around the world outside of the US, including here in Guatemala, all of a sudden you start to go, wow, that's substantial. In 2024, the average Social Security check is $1,909, and I think it's 1 penny, but $1,909. So let's say $1,900. Thought I'd break down. Unfortunately, this cost of living is not a lot different than the last cost of living I did. We're still running about the same, but I'll run through it quickly with you. I've just got my list here, so forgive me for looking down, but rent is, it's in quetzales, but it's about $350. And Mavi, and like a lot of places, a lot of rental houses here, it includes water, electric, cable, and internet. Now, they all include something different, or sometimes they don't include anything at all, but here it's water, electric, cable, internet. And I've kind of rounded up a little bit on everything. So, food, $400. I don't know if it's quite that much. I mean, we shop mostly the local places. We don't do a whole lot in the supermarkets. Supermarkets are for, we can run to Walmart for paper towels, toilet paper, paper plates, stuff like that. Different soaps and cleaners and things like that. But about $400. Cell phones, $13 each per month, so $26 there. We do get big giant 5-gallon bottles of water. We go through a lot of them because of the dogs. So about $10 a month that we spend on what they would call here agua puro, but just drinking water. Gas for the stove, about $5. It runs about $12, but it takes forever to run out. I mean, it's taking us about 3 months to go through a tank. So I just put $5 on that one. Transportation, we don't spend this much, but I put $100 down. For the transportation, like if you go from city to city, so like if you took a look at the video where we took a little quick trip over to Salcaja, it's about 30 minutes. You hop on one of these buses that looks like a school bus, and it's about 30 cents, to go from here to Salcaja. So, we spent 60 cents there, 60 cents back. Now, Lydia and I do a lot of walking, and that's done because we like it. It's on purpose. We try to get in our 10,000 steps every day. So, a taxi, depending on where you're going, might cost you $3, $4, $5 around town. But there's also micro buses, like the little, they might have 12 people inside. and they go pretty much everywhere. So going to the mall, one of the 3 different malls, going to Walmart, anything like that. Um, about again, so let's see, it's 2.5 quetzales, so about 35 cents. So if we want to go out to the mall, we walk, two blocks towards the park, hop on a microbus, and in 5 or 10 minutes we're at the mall. And they go there, they go back, so you can catch the microbuses almost anywhere, and again, like 35 cents. So we don't really use a lot of taxis. I mean, we could, but the microbuses are so easy. It's kind of silly to pay $5 when we can pay 60 cents. Um, Extension and border runs. I put $100 down. It's not that much. The extensions, if you're here for 3 months, you have to do an extension. That costs about $180. And then you have to run up to the border, cross over into Mexico, for example, or Belize, or somewhere else, or go back to the U.S. for a day. I put $100 a month. It did not cost us that. Probably, let's see, $400 for the 6 months. But again, I'm just rounding up, so $100 there. Restaurants. We really don't go to any fancy places. That's not a budget thing. We really don't have a budget. We spend anything we want to spend. It's just, we've got, I guess, creatures of habit like a lot of people. So we kind of go to the same places over and over again. And as far as restaurants, I'm vegan. Lydia is pescatarian. So that kind of cuts down on a lot of restaurants also. But I put down $100. We have there are some vegan restaurants here that we go to every once in a while. And, some regular places where we'll go and get, salad or whatever. So put down $100. We don't spend that much, but I put that down. I also put a miscellaneous of $100 just for, I don't know, things that might come up. So that totals up to about $1,190, which is a pretty typical month for us. Excuse me just a second. Maddie, stop it. If you haven't been following the channel, we have a puppy that was that was a street dog and now belongs to us. So anyway, part of the family. Let's just say $1,200, and that's pretty typical. Might be, $1,100, might be $1,200. Now there are some things that. Also, if you have dogs, we kind of figure we probably spend about $300 a month on the dogs. I mean, unless something crazy comes up, but just for like food, flea and tick, heartworm, stuff like that, about $300. So that brings us up to maybe $1,400, $1,500. Now there are some other things, and I didn't include these because these aren't for everybody. I mean, whatever you guys spend, I guarantee you will be different than what we spend. You're going to spend more or less on all those different categories. So just because we spend $1,400 doesn't mean you will spend $1,400. You might spend less, you might spend more, depends on what you buy. I didn't put anything in here for alcohol. So, but although I gotta tell you, alcohol is not expensive here, and you can pretty much find anything you want. Now, it might not be the exact brand. I don't drink very much. I mean, I might have one drink a week, maybe. But you can get different beer here. You can get, when I rarely have a drink with like alcohol, I mean, typically it's bourbon, and which I never thought I would see very many. I thought maybe there might be like a plain Jack Daniel's Black Label or a plain Jim Beam or something, but they have all kinds of stuff here. So, and it's not expensive. I mean, most of the bottles of like gin, vodka, tequila, there's a supermarket called La Torre, and most of the bottles there are like $20, and they have Stolies and Absolute and Tanqueray. And so anyway, if you're a drinker, you can probably find whatever you drink here, and it's not very expensive. Meds. So if you are taking some kind of medicine, That's going to cost you whatever it costs here. You can call around, check the pharmacies, but so, figure you're going to pay a little bit if you take certain medicines. It's going to more than likely be a lot less than whatever you pay in the States, although if you're paying in the States, you probably have it covered by some kind of insurance. Health insurance, which we are still looking into. Eventually, we probably will get some. We've done a little bit of nosing around as far as health insurance, but our philosophy has always been we try to stay very healthy. We try to eat really well. We walk. We probably average walking 4 or 5 miles a day. We go to the gym 4 times a week. So we try to stay really healthy. For the little stuff, we don't care about having health insurance for the little small stuff. What we're really looking for is something that'll cover us for like catastrophic. If we need a heart surgery, or we have cancer and we need chemotherapy, so that's what we're looking for. We've been told to go to Banco Industrial and talk to somebody there. They have some kind of affiliation with La Paz, which is supposed to be the very best private hospital here. So that's something you might want to factor in. Are you going to buy health insurance? Now, there's a lot of expats that just don't do it, and it kind of depends on what country also. There's some countries like Thailand. I mean, if you have a heart attack in Thailand, you may go to a really nice hospital. It might only cost you 10 grand. So there's good parts and bad parts about every single country. So health insurance, something you might want to check into. And we'll update you as we find out more and more about the health insurance, especially if we find something that covers catastrophic. Now, we do know that there are some expats here that have purchased health insurance through La Paz, and they said they're very happy with it. Although, again, what we have found is it doesn't cover the big stuff. I did not include anything in there about clothing, although clothing is relatively inexpensive here. So again, our total costs run about, including the dogs. So if you don't have dogs, figure about $1,200 for us, about $1,500 for us and the dogs. And again, average Social Security check around $1,900. I mean, if you're a couple and you both have a Social Security check, so you're at $3,800. I guess you could spend that much here. I don't know how. I mean, you'd have to have an enormous house and a really fancy brand new car with a big car payment. It would be very difficult to spend. We'll be putting money in savings every month, and Lydia doesn't get her Social Security check for 5 more years. So anyway, thought we would update you. I was very happy. You always kind of wonder on this first check, I was like, is it really going to hit today? So anyway, very easy to do. I think I ran that down in a video for you, but SSA.gov, Social Security Administration.gov. If you don't have an account, go in there and sign up, and you can have an account. It'll tell you all about Social Security. It'll give you all kinds of details. It'll show your earnings report for your whole life, how much money you made every year. So it used to not be such a great website, but it's a pretty good website now. So I would encourage all of you, if you've not gone on there and made an account, go on in there and check it out. But that is cost of living. We are very happy not to be dipping into retirement accounts or savings anymore. So just wanted to share that happiness with you all. Hope you're having a wonderful day. And remember, here in Xela, it is going to be about 70 degrees, and probably tonight around 50. Same as always. So another beautiful day here in Xela. I can just barely see because the sunshine is so bright coming over the mountains. Hope y'all are having a wonderful day. If you are in the US and you are sitting in a cubicle watching this, or you are just feeling like maybe you've had enough of the grind of the rat race, or if you're just looking for an adventure, remember, there's a lot of great countries out there, great places to go live. And remember, if you need an adventure, there has to be something more.